Welcome to the Not Superheroes Just Dads podcast. No, we can't fly. No, we can't shoot lasers or pick up giant buildings. But what we can do is help set the foundations for our families, be present for our kids, and combat generational cycles. On this podcast, we dive into everything dad related, from the struggles we deal with as fathers to what our favorite thing to barbecue is. Hello, I am Sean Laurie, and I am excited, y'all, to have one of my man. We go way back, to be honest,
Way
but
back.
way back. But my boy Chris, he's actually out and about doing what he always does, man. Being an amazing father, amazing family
Appreciate you.
man. You know what I mean? So I just appreciate him just taking the time out. So y'all see in the background, he literally out here, y'all. He out here, doing his father duties. You see it, you see it. He
I'm
out
out
here, man.
here. Yeah, we go way back,
But
bro. Like what, 20, 30 years?
man, you making me feel old, brother. But yeah,
I mean, we is kind of old these days.
we is. Don't tell nobody, but we
Yes,
is.
sir.
We is, man. So what I like to do too at times is a little icebreaker, bro. So I'm gonna ask you this question, and you could just on top of your brain what comes to mind for you. Have you ever had like one of those moments, and if you did, what was that? But one of those surreal moments where you're like you're almost taking it all in, like, man, this is my family, like I'm a dad, like I have my wife, like, because for me, I remember I had one of those moments when my son was I don't remember, he was like 2 or something, and I was at Disneyland, of all places. I don't even like Disneyland, but but just to see like his excitement and his enjoyment, and then seeing my daughter all excited, like just and my wife, just in that moment, like it was one of those surreal moments. So like for you, have you ever had one of those? I mean, you might have had multiple, but what's one
Yeah,
that
I've had
sticks out?
definitely
One of those,
multiple.
yeah, those
I,
surreal
I wouldn't
moments.
say it necessarily sticks. I can't off the top of my head say that there's one that sticks out. Uh,
Okay,
it happens to me a lot more frequently, and I think it goes off to what we talked about earlier, the whole perspective thing. And it happens almost weekly. I'm like, dang, like I'm a dad, and dang, I'm a husband, dang, I got kids. Like it happens to me fairly frequently, and it usually happens most times when we're out and about doing stuff. Um, like going to Disney. I know you hate Disney, but going to Disneyland and seeing how they see the magic happen and seeing it through their eyes. Or we did a commercial shoot together about a month ago now, and we got to fly in a private jet, and that was like super cool because like the past couple months have been super rough, and to be able to do that and see the excitement of the kids, and they got to drive in a cool car and how excited they were about it, and there was no care in the world. That was like a surreal moment. Like, man, all the rough times, all the struggling, whatever it is, it kind of adds up to moments like these where you can see that your hard work eventually does pay off, and it may not pay off perfectly every single time you want, but eventually it always pays off. So I think that's kind of, to answer your question, that kind of is my surreal
that's
moments. It
dope.
happens regularly.
That's dope, man. And no, and you actually help segue to what we're going to talk about is, just perspective. Because we hear that word a lot, like, oh, keep everything in perspective, keep everything in perspective. But I feel like that's hard for us to do at times,
For sure.
especially when we're so caught up in, at least I can speak for myself and others as well, right? Where it's one of those things where we're just so focused on, hey, this bill needs to be paid. Hey, you know what? I want to make sure that I don't know, something's going on with the car. I got to fix this. I got to do that. So how do you, when all these different things is just racing through your mind, at least for you, how are you able to kind of be in that moment, or even be able to just be like, you know what? Okay, yeah, I gotta pay this, but at the end of the day, at least I have the money to pay it, right? Or whatever
Yeah.
the case is.
So,
How are you able to stay so level headed in that sense, bro?
well, I think this is, I'm going to digress for a second, but I remember this old dude I used to hang out with used to always tell me this quote: option A, you do it; option B, you don't. There's no such thing as option C. So I always
Mm,
factor, like, if we're gonna make life happen, we're gonna make life happen. I'm not gonna be like, oh well, I'm gonna stress about this bill, I'm gonna stress about that bill. Like no matter what, we're gonna make it happen. That's what I decided to do. We're gonna figure it out, right? And that's kind of goes once again back to the perspective side. So in full transparency, the last like 4 to 5 months have been super rough. We went from last year making a ton of money to like business basically drying up the last like 5 or 6 months, right? So I've been living off of savings, and yeah, it could be stressful because I got to make sure like keep food on the table, keep roof over the head, keep gas in the car, all that stuff. But like at the end of the day, what's me worrying about it really going to change? Nothing.
mm,
Option A, you do it, or option B, you don't. So it's either I'm going to figure it out and make it happen, or I'm just going to like suck it up and I don't know, be homeless or something. I refuse to do that. So instead of stressing about it and wasting all this time and energy and shortening my life, I just got to figure it out. So like I got to get a job, or I got to go pick up extra jobs here, or jobs that I normally wouldn't do or agree on at a certain rate. I'll accept it and try to negotiate so it still makes sense for us. You know what I'm saying? So it's a perspective thing. It could be worse. I could be, I don't know, not
Mm,
to down anybody, but I could have to go work at McDonald's. I don't have to do that. I still
yeah.
live in a pretty nice neighborhood. I still have a car. So it's like I could complain about it, or I just figure it out and be thankful for what I have and where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where
Yeah.
I've been really focusing on the past few years of my life, is just making sure as best as I can, try to see things the right way, because it could always be worse.
True, true. How did you get to that? Like you said, the last few years you've been able to kind of to work on it where now it's I guess like it's clicked for you where you're able to have that perspective. What helped you get to that point basically? Like was it just one of those things you just woke up on it? Was it your wife? Was it, someone you spoke to? Like I know you said, someone you spoke to told you that great saying, but like was it just something that really just occurred where you was like, "Oh man, I'm so busy focused on this thing, I'm missing out what's happening at home." Like what was it for you that helped you be this way? So now, because now it's going to be part of your foundation, right? Which now you can implement into your family, into your groups,
Right.
right? So, how were you able to get to that moment?
I think so. I try to hang out with people who are always doing what I want to do or doing better than me, who are wealthier than me, and I always try to hang out with those people so that I can learn as much as I can and pick up, little morsels from about life. And I
Yeah,
think just after years of picking up different stuff, it just finally clicked one day. And I was really, I think it happened like in 2020, like the whole quarantine thing.
yeah, yeah.
And I was just really thankful. Like, yeah, it sucks. We had to sit at home in quarantine, and I think it's stupid, but I think it clicked more so. I don't know when I'm going to have all this time just to do nothing ever again.
Mm,
So let me try to make the best of the situation. I think that's when it clicked. Is like I could mope and be sad about the whole situation, or be upset, or you know throw myself into a depression or something because I'm stuck inside the house, or I can figure it out once again and just try to make the best of the situation. So I decided, like, let's go on a road trip. Let's go to a park. Let's go to all the places and do all the things we couldn't do that we normally want to do that we didn't have time to do because we're too busy trying to work. And now we ain't got to work, so let's just have some fun. And I think that's where it clicked. And stressing about certain things isn't going to change it. Like, I'm literally just
yeah.
stressing myself out. I'm getting sick. I got headaches. I got migraines. My body's reacting however way. Like, you can give yourself cancers. Like, it's like you stressing about it ain't going to magically fix a situation. Oh, I'm stressed out. It's fine. No. So I think in 2020, it's like, well, I don't really have a choice to figure it out, or not to figure it out. So let's just figure it out and have fun and make the best of a bad situation. And I think
Mm,
just years of hanging with people who are a little bit wiser and trying to pick up stuff, that's when it kind of clicked. Like I can suck and just sit at home, or I can have fun and
yeah.
do things I've always complained. Oh, I wish I had time to do this. I wish I had time to do this. Well, we got the time, so let's just utilize it instead of talking about it. If that answers your question.
No, I love it, bro, and I'm a big believer in that too. Is like, you are who you're with, right? Who your
Yeah.
circle is. You're gonna pick up those habits, right? So if you're around people that is doing a little bit better than you are as far as financially or whatever it is, right? Like you're gonna pick up some of those traits. You're gonna pick up some of those things that they do, and oh, okay, that makes sense, right? And now
Right.
all of a sudden they might even help you with certain things that you didn't even think about. Like, oh, shoot, I didn't look at it from this perspective. So I think that's dope and that's key. Because I always say this, for example, too, especially when guys or in a dating game or something like that, right? For those single people, it's like, okay, you're looking for quote unquote a wifey type, right?
Right.
You're probably not gonna find a wifey. I mean, it's possible, but you're probably not gonna find the best wifey at the strip club, right?
Probably not.
Probably not, right?
Probably not. 'Cause
You're
it
not
just,
gonna
yeah,
probably
like
find
what
one.
are you
If Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, what are you surrounding yourself with, right?
Yeah, you know what I
But
mean.
finish
Like
your
if it,
statement, I bet.
no, no, I was just gonna say, if you're hanging out with the homies, y'all playing 2K, Madden all day, smoking in the house. Again, to each his own. But then you can't be mad when you're like, man, I haven't accomplished none of my goals. But then you're looking around and your homeboys they're not doing anything either. They're doing the same thing every day, and you're
Right.
with them every day. So where's the, you know what I mean? Where's the motive? Where, matter of fact, they're looking at like, oh, wait, you want to do what? No, just come on, hop on the sticks real quick. Let's play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
man. You gotta have people to push you. And like, I always want to play games and like dick around, but I got people telling me like, bro, you can make it. You gotta do this. Focus, focus, focus. And that's been my saving grace. And like, also what I learned in quarantine is either you got it or you don't. Like some people can learn the trait to grind it out and to figure it out. Most people ain't got it though. And that's what I learned is like all these nothing against anybody who had to deal with mental health or anything that happened in quarantine, but some people just didn't have it and they were just like lost in the sauce. And then some people like thrived. Like I think we thrived. We had a great time. Like I wouldn't want to do it
yeah,
again, but if we had to, like it would be fun. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So I just think you got to be careful who you surround yourself with, who you surround yourself with, because if you don't have it in you, you ain't got it. And the only way to actually pick it up is if you hang with people who got it. At least that's my 2 cents.
no, that's real, bro. That's real. Then, and I want to ask you too, because like you have this perspective, which is amazing that you have. Like, man, I'm not gonna stress. I'm gonna appreciate the little things. And so I was gonna ask you, what has the, and I know how old is your kids right now?
I got 10, 4, and 1. Well, 16 months. So 1 and 3 months, 2, 3 months.
Okay, so for sure the 10-year-old. Then I'll say the 10-year-old and the missus for you, right? So,
Yeah.
like you said, as far as being able to change your perspective, what was can if you can you tell me the difference that you saw from when you didn't have that perspective, how it impacted your family to now where you're at, how it's impacting your family?
Well, I've been kind of on the perspective thing since my kid was born. Here's why. So when we
Okay.
first found out we were pregnant, it was an accidental blessing, right?
Yes.
And we hadn't gotten married yet, and all these people, like people at church, pastor's wife, all the people are like, "Oh, it's gonna be so hard. Your life is over. You can't hang out. It's gonna be so expensive. Yada yada yada." It's like trying to stress us out. And I got to
Yeah.
the point of after hearing it so many times, I just got pissed off, and I was like, "F this. It's not gonna be that bad. I'm gonna figure it out. No matter what you say, it's not gonna be that bad." Like I made a kid. Wasn't ready, but it is what it is. We're gonna figure it out. And it went from the whole like 9, 10 month process. It went from being super worried and stressed out to like it not being that bad and things always kind of working itself out. And it's always just kind of
Mm,
worked itself out. And it's just that whole perspective thing I've been dealing with has just been progressively getting better over the last like 9, 10 years. But it started when we first got pregnant, and like I said, everyone was saying all this negative stuff, and I just refused to believe that. Like I refuse to be like, well, life is gonna suck because I have a kid. Like I don't. That doesn't make sense, you know. Like I see people having fun with kids all the time. I don't understand, and I also see people that stress out with having kids and they hate it. But I was under the vantage point like, there's no way it's as bad as you're telling me it's gonna be, and I refuse to believe
mm,
it's gonna be that bad, and I refuse to accept that. And even if it is that bad, I'm gonna figure it out. And there's bad days, there's good days, and there's
yeah.
plenty of great days, and we've had more great days than not. And you know, over the course of those 10 years, I've had to grow, be more patient, be more loving, be more kind, uh, figure out how to like deal with girls and their forever hormonal changes. And like, there's levels where I've had to learn, but the overall perspective of it's not going to be that bad and going into it that it's not going to be that bad, it hasn't been that bad. Even the low,
Yeah.
really bad days haven't really been that bad when you put it all in perspective. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I said, I think it's just been a long time coming, and I think it started because people pissed me off, and I refused to accept what they were trying to put on me. If that makes sense.
No, no, that makes perfect sense, and I definitely can relate with the girls. I got two girls, so I definitely understand. 18 and 7.
18.
So yeah,
You got
18,
an
bro.
18-year-old, bro?
Yeah, bro. I got 18. She in college
Golly.
now too, bro. Yeah, she in
What?
college. Yeah, bro. So hey, if you ever have questions, I've been through it all,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need your help, bro.
Yeah, I've been, but she, you know what, and she's amazing. And from what I've seen from you and knowing you, I know you have an amazing relationship with your kids as well. But the key is, I always say, especially with girls, man, if you really just there and you're patient with them and you make sure that they know it's a safe space, they're always gonna let you know what's going on, man. Which I appreciate. Like I'm blessed because me and my daughter have a very close relationship where she's telling me things it doesn't matter with school, dating, whatever the case is. Like we're able to have a real dialogue. You know what I mean? So I'm
Yeah,
grateful for that.
for
Grateful for
sure.
that. So
And that's what
it's a key
I try to
thing.
keep.
But yeah,
I try to
yeah.
keep that going too. Like make sure everything is cool. And I be telling her, because I'm a little on the crazy. I got girls, so I'm a little psychotic. But I be telling her how to talk
Oh,
talk
I
shit back
understand.
to kids. I be trying to say stuff, and I'm like, she said what? Okay, next time you see, you're gonna say X, Y, and Z. We gonna rip them apart
Hmm.
because like, I think I have fun with it. I'm gonna be a kid with them.
Yeah.
But we also gonna make sure things are serious. So if someone's messing with you, we gonna make sure that you ain't getting messed with.
No, you gotta make sure too, because at the end of the day, right? Like I tell my kids, like the world will be quick to tear you down, right? So I want
Bro,
to make
so
sure that
quick.
my my kids are strong enough to handle any adversity, any negative talk, and like knowing that that's not your identity. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
understand, like hey, and like you said, perspective, right? Where okay, this person is saying this and that. Where's that coming from, right?
right.
What's happening in their life? And so that's what I was gonna actually say for you as well when you said like they were being negative and saying all these things is because they were projecting, right? They were starting trying to
Right,
project
bro.
whatever was going on with them onto you and trying to make that part of your identity. Hey, you screwed up. Hey, you're not gonna be do this and do that. And the fact that you was like, no, I'm not gonna accept that. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
dope to
like
me, bro.
because you going from your past experiences and your traumas. Like, don't put that on me. Like, I'm
Yeah.
fresh. I ain't got no traumas to figure out yet. And like, even if I am, once again, you got to figure it out, right? Option A, you do it. Option B, you don't. There's no such thing as option C. So option A is what I'm going with. We got to figure it out, no matter how you slice it.
No matter how you slice it, man. And again, not to pick on because I had my boy Matt on a little while ago, but who's a pastor and he's amazing, but not all, but especially in the as you know in the Christian church community, right? We're very quick at times. Not all, some are quick to
Yeah.
judge and quick to tell you what you're doing wrong, right? And instead of showing that love and like, hey, okay, is there anything you need help with? Hey, I've been through this. Like I remember when I had X, Y, and Z. Do anytime you need help, just hit my phone, right? A lot of times it's hey, you're doing it wrong. You gotta do it like this, do it like that, and
Hey,
trying
so
to
I'm
install
gonna give
that
you a
fear.
story. I'm gonna give you a
Yeah,
story
go
that
ahead,
kind of
go ahead.
like it counteracts what you did, but what you're saying about the
Uh-huh.
church. But this is a great story because not only did it prove like the whole God is love thing and like Christians are supposed to do X, Y, and Z. My pops did it. I call so my old pastor. I call him my pops because like he basically raised me from like 19 to 33 or something. I played at his church
That's
and
dope.
we went through hell, bro. But so we were broke. I stopped touring because I didn't want to be gone. So I was living off of savings for a while, but obviously money was running through quickly because I had to still live and I wasn't making more money. So I basically was burning through savings. So instead of like excommunicating me from the church and being like, well, you had a baby out of wedlock and you're a bad person, blah blah blah. He's like, it's cool. You weren't supposed to do that. Let's figure it out. And at the end of the day, he's like, you're getting married. You're gonna figure it out, right? So he took care of the rent for like 6 months. He paid my car payment, my
Okay.
cell phone bill. He made sure he's like, now you got 6 months to figure it out. He's like, whatever you need, I got you for
Mm,
diapers. Dude, he spent so much money and took care of us and made sure we were good. And for like 6 months, and then he said, now you have 6 months to figure it out. I mean, I ain't helping you after this, but he's like, got you started. Now you got to figure it out and
that's dope.
figured it out. You know what I'm saying? So like
That's dope.
instead of condemning me and then like firing me and all this other stuff, he gave me the lesson and then he gave me some help to figure it out and live the lesson. So
That's
that's how it's
dope,
supposed to
bro.
be in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Offer a
No,
helping
exactly.
hand.
Yeah, that's exactly what you just said. I feel like it should definitely be just like that, bro. Where hey, okay, this is where you probably shouldn't have did this, but how can we learn from this, and how can I help you? You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think that's dope, bro. I think that's dope that he was able to because I know you're forever grateful for that. You know what I mean?
Man.
So that's an amazing thing, bro. Amazing, man. I love it
Yo,
so
bro,
much,
to
man.
to to this day, and then like slight digression, but you know how like, all these people talk about pastors who are rocking like $1,000 sneakers and
Yeah,
all the high end clothes. Like to me, that's only an issue if you aren't doing what my pops did. So like if you
yeah.
ain't helping people and setting them up, Like that's an issue. But like for him, I would never talk bad about that dude because he took care of me when I needed it. You know what I'm saying? So like if
Yeah,
you wearing
yeah,
$1,000 sneakers, like what does it matter? Because you helping the people who putting you help them put food on people's table that need it, and that's what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to be able to give back to people and help them grow. Once again, perspective. Like how are we changing the trajectory of someone else's life as opposed to just ours?
facts, man. No, that's so real, bro. What you saying too, and just I guess just to close it out too, because I know you. Like I said, I know you on dad duty, husband,
Hey, but
all that
if you
stuff.
got a few more questions, I got time for you, bro. Don't be trip.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I got
cool, man.
time
I
for you.
appreciate it. Appreciate it. Well, I want to ask you because for those that's like, man, you know what? Okay, it sounds easy, but it's because he had help, or it's because people will make these reasons why, right? Where it's something they might they're struggling with, um, when it comes to perspective, when it comes to being able, hey, let me not stress. Well, you don't know my situation. My situation is like this. Like, I guess what is just something that you can encourage them with. And real quick too, y'all, those that are watching or listening. So my boy Chris, y'all don't understand. He's one of the probably most talented people I know, right? So he can play music. He has a voice. Like he has a great charisma. He knows like I'm telling y'all, like he really be plugged in with a lot of different things. Like I don't know. It's been like this for a long time when it comes to him. So he's a very talented dude. So don't think that, oh man, it's just this easy for him, or he's had it just like served to him on a silver platter. Like no, this dude has really worked. He's really grind. Like every time I've seen him, he's always doing something. But it's not because it was handed to him. It's him really putting the work in. So I just want to put that in
Man, I'd be
perspective before
appreciate
you
that. I'd be
answer.
grinding.
Yeah, bro.
So like
I know.
I'll give it to you this way. Disclaimer: I like my story, so I'm gonna give you another story. So I
Okay.
met. I'm trying to. So for people, it says it's difficult. I ain't got like that. I'm actually currently going through that, trying to reintroduce myself into the luxury real estate market. So I remember sitting down with this dude. I was trying to question to be a mentor, and he told me about the story about his dad. His dad passed away a couple of years ago, and on his deathbed, he was telling him, "Look, son, over the last 50, 60 years, I've done everything I could do for you. Whether I did good, whether I did bad, whether I was a good parent, whether I was a bad parent, I did everything I could, the best that I could. At this point, you can't blame me for your success or your failures. You are old
Mm,
enough to pick yourself up from your bootstraps and do whatever it takes to get where you need to get. You can't blame me for you not being successful. You can't blame me for you not having enough money. You're old enough to do it on your own." And so that story has stuck with me the last couple of years because at this point, to be in the luxury real estate market, I hate to throw this card out there, but being one of the only black dudes in the luxury real estate market, it's uh it's a steep climb. I think I'm one of the smarter dudes to do it, and I might be arrogant about it, but I think I'm one of the best people to do it in Orange County, and I'm just prepared for a fight. But I can't blame anybody else. Oh, their dad has hooked them up with leads, or this person's parents gave them the book of business, X, blah, 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 blah. I got to put in the work, right? And at some point, there's going to be a tipping point that everything falls in my favor, but it's going to take me a while, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, to build those building blocks to slowly start taking over. And it may take a little longer, but if I'm doing everything efficiently in the right way, it's gonna the 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 cards always tumble for you in your favor. People always talk about how preparation meets uh, hard work or meets preparation or whatever, and that's what luck is. Well, yeah, you're
yeah.
gonna the more shots you take, the more you're gonna eventually make. So I just believe that throwing everything at it and figuring it out. And once again, the whole option A, I can't blame anybody for my success or my failure. If I'm going to be successful, it's going to be for me. Like there's not anybody that can close doors that if I worked hard enough for them that they can close them. If
Mm,
I worked hard enough for it, there's doors that people will try to keep closed that they cannot keep closed, and they open for me. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And it may sound like cliche or like motivational speak, but that shit's real. If you grind it out, you're gonna have a lot of lows, but when the highs come, they're gonna be high as fuck, and you just got to be ready for it. And that takes preparation and just grinding it out. Like I said, I'm on the grind now, and it's gonna be a cool like not 8, 9 month, 10 month grind. But I'm already seeing it starting to pay off, and I've only been grinding it out for like a month. So I don't know if that answers your question, but
No, no, it does. It does.
if you want to get
And
if you want to get lucky, it's you just gotta be prepared, mentally prepared to just go for it, and you got to give it everything you got, and you can't make excuses. You got to go for it. You got to eat, sleep it, you got to drink it, you got to dream about it, whatever it is, you got to go after it, and it'll fall in your favor eventually.
yeah. No, I like the fact that, like you said, perspective and just the mindset. Because even then, like you said, hey, you know, you're in this new, you're reinventing yourself, and you've been doing it for a month or so. But you even have the mindset, bro, where you're like, you know, 9, 8, 10 months, I'm gonna be even in a better position. Where a lot of times we think, man, it's never gonna happen, or what if, you know, what I mean, you already have the mindset like, hey, I know this is gonna happen. It's just gonna be, you know, it's gonna take a few months, right? Where some
Yeah,
people be
bro.
like,
Like,
I don't know if this is gonna happen, so I don't even know if I should even wait a few months. You know what I mean?
here's the thing. Every day I wake up, I'm like, fuck. Excuse my language, but fuck.
No,
I don't
no
know if I
worries.
could do. I don't know if I could do this. I don't know. It's gonna be hard. I don't know if I can do this. Every day I doubt myself. Every single day. But the difference between me doubting myself is that it doesn't hold me back. I may have a doubt.
Mm,
It don't matter. I'm gonna doubt myself. It's like me going to the gym. I absolutely hate going to the gym. I don't want to do it. I don't enjoy it. I don't love it. As long as I get my ass there, the second I get there, it's a wrap. I'm gonna kill it every single time. You can't outwork me. You can't outlift me. You can't do nothing that because like once I get there, I'm in the mindset we're here to work, and that's how it is
yeah.
real estate every single day. I show up.
Mm,
I doubt myself every single day. All I know is that I reach out to enough people. I know I need to do X, Y, and Z every single day. As long as I get my ass there, my body will do the rest and do X, Y, and Z just naturally. And
nah,
so I just make sure I show up and do what I got to do. And me doubting myself, me having doubts, I know what the picture looks like at the end. I don't know what it
yeah.
looks like here. I can only see 5 feet ahead of me, a week ahead of me, 2 days ahead of me. That's all I see. But I do know for a fact that in like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 months, as long as I do everything I'm supposed to do now and follow that pathway, it'll work out in 13 months. Guaranteed.
Mm, I
No
love
matter
it,
how
bro.
many doubts I have, no matter how many fears I have, no matter how many no's I get, I know if I do what I'm supposed to do today, then tomorrow will figure itself out. And that's what I
Mm,
just try to do. Like today, I know I need to make certain phone calls. Today, I know I need to go look at a certain amount of houses. Today, I need to go make a certain amount of videos. Today, I need to do this. I just worry about today. I don't worry about next year because I know it'll work itself out. As long as I do what I got to do today.
yeah.
So I wake up with doubts. Doubts don't mean shit. It don't mean
Ooh,
anything.
no, that's real,
I
man. Look,
personally feel the more doubts that I've ever had just means like I'm on the right trajectory, if that makes sense. You know, some people are like,
mm,
oh, well, that's your body trying to save you. Dude, my body's trying to unquote unquote save me from a ton of stuff. And the more that I've doubted but kept pushing through, it made me better. And I got all the things I was looking to get. Like I was able
mm,
to reach those goals. And it was never easy. The shit was work. But uh, like it always works out. I just make sure, like I said, option A, you're gonna do it. If you choose to do it, then you just got to do it. And I just make sure that today I worry about today and I don't worry about tomorrow.
that's
That
real,
answer your
bro. Look,
question.
I need that myself because I was just sharing with him, y'all, that my, you know, the the platform I use y'all to share this and all that was been tripping lately. So just had to adjust and do all that. So even him speaking through that, I had my adversity. Look, you motivated me, brother. You
I
motivated
appreciate it,
me.
bro.
So I
I'm still
appreciate
speaking to myself because, like I told you,
you. Hey,
I doubt it. Dude, I wake up every morning with doubts. I go to bed with doubts. But like,
yeah.
as crazy as it may sound, I just try not to listen to it. Like, okay, if I'm doubting myself, it's because whatever traumas or stuff I've dealt with is because I'm scared of what could actually happen, the good that could happen. Because the worst thing
Mm,
that can happen is it doesn't happen. That's not that bad. Like, I'm not rich today, so that's just another normal day.
yeah, you know what
But
that looks like
tomorrow,
already.
yeah, but tomorrow, if I did what I was supposed to do today, and tomorrow opens up a big opportunity, that could be life changing. And that's to me, I know some people ain't it ain't a thing, but to me that's scary. Like my whole life could be different tomorrow. That's scary because
Yeah.
I think I do well with change, but change is still hard, right? So I just try not to figure. I just what's the worst that can happen, bro? I just don't. I just really try hard not to focus on stupid shit
Yeah.
because it ain't gonna
Yeah.
change nothing. So like I can't do it. Okay, I'm still gonna figure out how to take one step at another and still make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. No, that's real, bro. Well, before, cause about to close out. Before, is there any Because I know you doing your real estate stuff. You're doing all this amazing things with your family. Is there any social media, anything they can follow you on, tap in with you? If they in Orange County, they listen to this, they want to hit you up. You know what I mean? They looking for something. Where can they find you,
Well,
bro?
my dad page, I got a couple pages. My dad page is Christoph Keys, just my name, ChristopheKeyes, and then my real estate page is Keys Opens Doors. And then I started doing car reviews because people always hit me up to do car reviews, and I didn't like doing it on my personal page. So I started a Does It Dad page, and that's where I review mostly exotic cars to see if I can actually make them work with the family, and that's kind of fun. So you can check all those three out, and that's where you can
That's
find
dope.
me. And it's Christoph Keys on pretty much every platform. So whatever platform you on, it's Christoph Keys everywhere.
So I told y'all this dude be grinding. Y'all thought I was playing. I told you this dude got 3 pages, like putting me to shame. So,
All right, man. I'm just trying to make some stuff happen. That's all. One
hey,
day at a time.
hey, I love it, bro. I love it, man. And remember, y'all, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all tell a friend. And like always, remember, you don't have to be perfect, but you always have to be present. See you guys in
Yes,
our next
sir.